Conversations here at the Detroit Policy Conference focus on investing in Detroit's future. In order to grow, the city is going to need a strong workforce to meet the business demands of the next decade. The national nonprofit organization Urban Alliance is helping prepare young people for the jobs of the future and for their own personal success. Joining me now is the Executive Director of Urban Alliance in Detroit, Sherri Chisholm. Welcome to American Black Journal.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So talk about the history of Urban Alliance. How long has it been around? How long has it been working here in Detroit?
Sure. So Urban Alliance is just about 25 years old. We actually started in Washington, D.C., with the idea being is that there were a group of local business folks who were looking to support youth and were volunteering through traditional means. And the students said what they really needed was a job. And out of that really birthed Urban Alliance. So right now we're in 5 regions. Urban Alliance started in Detroit in the fall of 2018, serving 40 students through our high school internship program. At its core, we're a youth development organization.
Yeah.
So we believe in providing youth with the opportunities, network, and resources to achieve at their highest potential. And the method we use to do that is through a paid internship their senior year.
Yeah. The key word there, I think, is paid.
Yes.
So many of the opportunities that young people have right now, they're being asked to do things for free, and a lot of kids don't have the ability to do that. I mean,
right.
the idea of it being paid really makes a difference.
Yes, most of our students are income contributors.
Yeah.
So our students start at an average of $11 an hour, and many of our students are using what they earn to potentially pay for prom or extra activities, and many of our students are using what they earn to pay the light bill.
Yeah.
So we very much so believe that the model works best when students can both learn something new and earn to support themselves along the way.
Yeah, and the funding for that,
Yes.
that's always the key, is making sure there's money to make the internships paid. Talk about how you're able to do that at Urban
Right.
Alliance.
So through the generous support of the Quicken Loans Community Foundation, as well as Bank of America and Skillman, they were really our anchor partners in bringing us here.
Yeah.
We've since expanded to others, including GM and the Berman Foundation, and they are supporting us in both providing the programming and the wages.
Yeah.
Our model's a little bit different in that we believe that we're directly contributing to the organization. So corporate organizations pay the wages of our students and also support the programming, such as transportation and mentorship that provides those wraparound services.
Right. And what kind of businesses are you able to place the kids in?
Yeah, so right now, our students are in a myriad of industries and sectors within that. So we have a large portion of our students who are heavily invested in working in the construction industry. We know here in Detroit, skilled trades is hugely under-resourced, so creating a pipeline for that. We also have students working in HR and finance, students working in customer service at Bank of America. So we are looking to provide a diversity of opportunities, but also as we continue to grow, making sure that what we're doing aligns to the industries that need it most here in Detroit, which are really construction, business, and IT.
Yeah, and that first job experience, that first chance to go do something, is not just about earning the money, it's also about that experience and welcoming you to this kind of world of work and success that's really important for young people.
You can't imagine what you haven't seen. And so for many of our young people, they've never been downtown, let alone in one of the corporate businesses that operates down there. So introducing them to what's possible, as well as giving them that first taste of what it would look like to be a part of that organization and mentoring them along the way. So part of our program is providing the soft skills necessary for the job, not just the job. So what's the communication required? What does timeliness look like? What does it look like to advocate for yourself at work? It's also a huge part of what we'd like to bring to the program and to students.
Yeah, so and how are you doing that with the young people? I mean, those soft skills are things that a lot of people assume you get from your parents or from your family. A lot of kids don't have that.
Right, so Urban Alliance is a year-round program. So the first 6 months the first 6 weeks that the students are with us, they're in soft skills training, which is delivered by Urban Alliance staff. And so they have the opportunity to talk about first impressions, resume writing, all the foundational things you need for employment. And then after that 6 weeks, they enter the workforce with the support of a mentor, both on the professional side as well as a program coordinator from the Urban Alliance side. So they're receiving support from both ends through their experience.
Right. And what happens after they're done with the internship?
So we have students who are doing a variety of things now. I'm really happy to report that some of our employers actually decided to bring on our interns as full-time employees.
Keep them, oh wow.
Yes, so we have students at Bedrock, which is located within Quicken Loans, a student that went on to work full-time for Bank of America, and many of our students decided that they wanted to go on to college, which is true, or enroll in a vocational program. And we provide support for them in that process. Getting the job is one thing, keeping it is also something that you need support on, so our alumni team helps them with that.
If you had to sort of put your finger on a couple of the sort of common challenges that kids have in getting this kind of experience, what would you say they are?
I would say the first is the opportunity at the right time. Oftentimes there are a lot of programs that are provided during the summer, which is great, and I think a great first place to start. What research shows is that when a student is on the cusp of adulthood is when the program is most impactful. So the right timing for the program is what's really necessary. And then in Detroit, which is very unique to us, is then once you have the opportunity, do you have access to it?
Can you really get to it?
So providing transportation for students is also a huge barrier, and we provide both transportation to work and home for our students.
Well, what about generational differences? I was curious, people who are working with young people now, what they're hearing from those young people about their optimism, about their hopes that may look different than what we would remember as
I would
kids.
say I'm with the students on a regular basis. Our students are still very much so focused on what's next for them. Will I be able to support my family? What's my long-term trajectory look like? I think that's something that's common to everyone. And we want to make sure to provide them with the skills they need to do that. Generationally, I don't think there's a big shift. In Detroit, as you already know, we're in the midst of a big transition, and so many of our mentors are in their late 20s, potentially early 30s, and not so far removed, so they understand the challenges that our young people are going through and what they want to do.
What are we missing in this sector in the city? I mean, you guys are filling an important gap, but there are lots of others around us.
Right. I think, when it comes to providing the most robust experience is making sure it's a coordinated effort. There is no shortage of talented young people, but there is in terms of opportunities and internship slots for them. I think as a community, we're thinking really strategically about what does it look like to align and coordinate to support a student from grade K all the way to their next step post high school graduation. And that's really where we could come together and making sure that both the city, nonprofits, and education organizations are on the same page.
And how do we expand the opportunity that you guys are providing? I mean, you talked about the number of kids you have. There are lots of others we need to get to.
Well, first, we'd love to expand Urban Alliance.
Expand your program,
and and that's one way to provide the year-round opportunity to students. I think there are other ways that in Urban Alliance we seek to support the ecosystem. So for those organizations who might not have the capacity to partner with us, we are sharing what are the foundational things required for youth development and youth employment, and how might you be able to create something like that for yourself in-house. Understanding what it's like to work with the district on district schedules and constraints, which are very real, as well as what does it look like to support a young person and provide them with the logistics to show up every day prepared for work.
I was going to ask that too. I mean, how easy is it to do this with the school district that we have in the city and the charter schools? I mean, it seems that these efforts should be aligned, right? They should all be in the same space.
Right. I totally agree. I started my career in district. The district has been amazing and awesome for us here. I think it really takes, and what makes us unique is understanding what constraints the district is working within and understanding what they want to see possible, what their outcomes are. They want students to graduate. So as a part of Urban Alliance, our students also receive course credit. And so making sure that whatever program we have in place also helps them meet the outcomes that they're achieving. We meet regularly with the district on what it should look like to develop a program that makes sense for students in Detroit, as well as to continue to refine and get better.
the outcomes. You talked about some of the kids staying with the companies, but overall, talk about what the outcomes look like.
Yeah, so the majority of our students, 90% of them go on to be accepted to college.
Oh,
we
wow.
see that across the board
Wow.
nationally. About 80% of those students matriculate on to the second year, which shows if a student is able to make it to the second year of college, they're likely to make it all the way through. And then for our students who've gone on to full-time career, we continue to track them and support them. I think that we are, as we're in the early stages of Detroit, like evolving what success looks like, and I know a big part of that is making sure that those students who want to go on to work have what they need there. So we'll be happy to report outcomes on that in the next couple of years.
Okay, well, congratulations, and thanks for coming by.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much.